except me. Yeah. Because y'all know I'm going to talk about it. Regardless, 24/7. Forget your 24 hours. Alright? Because, brothers, right, do not attach yourself emotionally or intimately, right? Or let me say intimately, emotionally to any woman, right? You are not providing for majority wise, right? And I don't mean detach yourself as in just don't be emotionally unavailable, but I'm saying go ahead and grant her that liberty, right? If you're not taking care of all of it, right? Because if you're not taking care of all of it or majority of it, because she's like a bird, she can fly away, right? Y'all know I like talking about relationships, but all I'm saying is I'm not saying that women, seek benefit or whatever. All I'm saying is that the femininity of a woman comes out from being provided for, allowing her to be in her nurturing state, right? Her catering state, right? And we only have 24 hours, right? Limitless amount of money we can obtain, but we only have 24 hours and we only have so much we can do. And a lot of times all people can do is work hard for themselves. And if they're working hard, if a woman is working hard for, if anyone is working hard for themselves, it's promoting masculine energy. If we take the sexes out of it, what masculine energy actually is the resonant energy of that comes after providing, protecting, in that sort, right? It's not so much that it's a male, but it's how your character expresses after providing and protecting, right? There may be a sense of entitlement. There may be a right to fatigue, a right to lounge. Just look at the animal kingdom, lions and shit and everything. But mostly, all right. Again, when we look at women, when they are providing for themselves 100%, or they're using resources to provide for themselves, and the things they got to do to provide for themselves, or the things that anybody may do to provide for themselves, it puts you in the masculine mode, because it's just like, you want something from me, man, right? Woman speaking. And you don't contribute a dang thing to my life to make my life easier, right? We have verbal expressions, and then we have nonverbal expressions. And so when the nonverbal is always being expressed, and that's what's going on. Like, they don't just like you, they admire you for who you are, right? They love you for who you are, but loving you for who you are doesn't warrant any particular behavior. Loving you for who you are is just loving who you are. I like that about you. That's cool about you. I can kick it with you about that. But whether you are providing or nurturing is going to provoke a different characteristics in the receptive character that says, oh, okay, they're giving me space to be comfortable. They're giving me space to be relaxed. Let me do something special for them. Right? And masculine energy is the opposite, right? Masculine energy is, I love doing I love doing these things for them. I've done these things for them. Let me relax. All right. And a lot of men are getting a bad rap because they're relaxing when they haven't contributed. Makes sense now, does it? Because now it doesn't make sense when you apply the vice versa. Right? This is why, but when you apply the vice versa, it doesn't make sense for someone to be relaxed who didn't provide, or it doesn't make sense for someone to be nurturing and catering when that person hasn't provided for them. We call that stupid, crazy, all right? And we call the other one that doesn't provide but wants to relax a bum. Makes sense now, doesn't it? All right? This is just psychology. This is just the way we were made. We were fearfully and wonderfully made by a divine God, and this is our makeup. Aren't we a pitiful shame? So now let's get into it, right? Since we made it this far, let's ask the question and answer the question, what is an alpha female, right? An alpha female is someone who provides for themselves, right? And even if a man comes in and provides for them, she's not yielding her provision for herself, right? This is why, and I say this lightly, that, for men, if you really want a feminine woman, right, you might want to find one that's in the starter pack, where the one you can grow with, the one you can develop with, right? Because if you run into a woman who's providing for herself, right, she's going to be that. She's not going to be the downfall, right, because of you. Her downfall is not going to be because of you, right? And she's not cutting back on things because you came in, right? Unless some of those things that unless some of those things were compromising to her morals, right? If she's been gaining against her morality, right, you got a different dilemma on your hands. Now she's going to expect more from you. She's going to expect you to step in more, or whoever that person, because it ain't got to be a she or he. We just establish the fact that femininity is not within the sex, but it's within the behavior. All right, masculinity the same. So if anybody had to compromise their morals, right, in order to get what they have, and you came in and swooped and saved the day, they're going to expect you to, or at least they're going to want you to save them all the way. They're not going to want a partial save. All right, they're going to need you to save all the way. All right, because they don't want to live like this. They're depending on you. They need you. All right, but if she's earned all that honestly and earnestly, or she's not ashamed of how she earned it, she's not coughing it up, and she's not giving it up, and she's gonna let you, provide for her to an extent, but she's gonna stop you sometimes because she knows you're gonna expect something with all that you are providing. That's what an alpha female is going to do. At some point, when you do this much provision and this much, when you're doing that much producing, like, you just innately, exude masculine traits, bro. Like, you're working hard, busting your behind, making things happen for you in your home. Of course, you're going to want to sit here and bend somebody. Of course, you're going to want to be dominant. All right? And so, where a lot of, strong, independent women who established themselves with integrity end up, which sucks, is singlehood. And their best bet is to get, okay, if it's a woman, their best bet is to literally deal with a developing broken man. And that man's going to have to accept, being treated in feminine ways. She's providing for you. You can't be treated like the man of the house when, you're not doing the duties the man of the house should be doing. All right? And so, this is just a video educating people on the psychology of dating, the psychology of providers and providers and I don't want to say servants, but providers and nurturers, caterers, pleasers. All right. So yeah, that's the rant for the day. Peace out.